right thing. The big lesson from that, when you get a mic put on you, do not ever forget that a microphone is on you.
Don't delegate. But Joe, did you, as a Tory, feel sorry for Gordon Brown in that moment?
Tory advisor. Sorry, as a Tory I've always been a Tory advisor. I should declare rather than Tory. I had voted for those guys myself at the times. I felt sorry for the people around him because you could see at that moment that they'd forgotten that they should have checked as well. We should remember actually this forthcoming election. There are smartphones everywhere. People can be recorded having all sorts of conversations, and you know there is going to be a lot more of these types of things to come.
That's the way to go out. You're simply submitting to basically get ready for the gaps. It's the season.
I'm feeling tired already, Paddy, at the thought of it.
Well, it's going to be Gap Central, isn't it?
Aisha Hazarika, new Baroness, and Joe Tanner. The actor Andrew Scott has praised seeing plays in cinema, but warned theatre ticket prices are still too high. Millions of us now enjoy drama, opera, ballet and concerts in seats first built for film fans. The event of cinema, as it's known, is around 15 years old, and we know many BH listeners love and depend on it. Recent concert tours from Taylor Swift and Beyonce have helped smash box office records as younger fans buy into the closest gig experience to the new film. Hot Priest star Scott is a fan of all of this, which is handy as his Vanya, the acclaimed National Theatre Chekhov production, will soon be screened on NT Live. We sent one of our youngest team members to meet him. Isabel Goff is a massive drama queen who'd love to see more theatre if it wasn't so spendy.
A lawyer's job is not to know, it's to not know.
They've no desire whatsoever to serve in the military, and I can't see how you're going to make them do that. The only way you could do that is have conscription, and that's a discussion we'll have to have, because recruitment has now got to a point that the nation cannot defend itself. We don't have an army.
Sorry, Tim, with higher wages, I mean, I've seen some of the salaries for rank and file recruits are very poor. So, I mean, there must be other ways we can address a diminishing army in terms of its scale.
Well, there's no doubt that the funding in defence is woeful. It needs to be increased, and that's a whole other debate. The fact of the matter is you've got to step back and look. When I was a commanding officer, I took a battalion over. A battalion was 700. Mine was 250 undermanned. I stepped aside from the army recruiting system because it was failing, and we went and recruited our soldiers in Ireland and produced a fully manned battalion. In fact, it was slightly overmanned. Left alone, that can be done. However, if we were told to go and recruit a battalion, discriminate against Irish soldiers because they were white and not recruit them, we would be helpless. We couldn't have succeeded. In fact, we'd have lost more soldiers. So you've got to decide whether you want to defend the nation or not. By dropping security standards, then you're putting people in further danger. So this is a duty of care issue. Now, you won't have heard about it because it's not the sort of thing that the British media are fixated on things like the Gaza war. But yesterday in Somaliland, there was an insider attack that killed 6 Emirati officers, and these were the Somali military, trained by the Emiratis, but they were insiders and they killed trainers.
Tim Collins, if that doesn't underline your point, I can't think of anything else that Colonel Tom Collins there indebted to you. I'm going to return to your calls on dads, absent dads that don't pay for their kids, plus talking to Michael Gove after this obviously news headlines from Jenny Bates.
The Defence Secretary Grant Shapps has told LBC there'll be no lowering of security clearance checks on overseas army recruits to boost diversity. An 8-year-old boy has suffered life-changing injuries after being attacked by a dog on Merseyside, and it's emerged the government's awarded £3.4 billion worth of contracts to Fujitsu, the company behind the Horizon IT scandal, since 2019. A day of sunny spells and showers, wettest in the far east of England and Scotland, a high of 11 Celsius.
LBC Travel, I'm Joanne Webb. Big problems on the M25 in both directions. The motorway is closed between junctions 22 at London Colney and 21A at the A405. It's because of an ongoing police investigation, and there are lengthy delays both ways. At the Blackwall Tunnel, the road is closed southbound because of the weekend works. It will be closed until the early hours of tomorrow morning, and it's now looking busy in the area. On the Underground, no Piccadilly line trains can go to and from Heathrow. You'll have to use Heathrow Express or Elizabeth line services instead. And Greater Anglia aren't running today between Liverpool Street and Shenfield. Southend Victoria and Southminster, and Elizabeth line can't run on that stretch as well.
Coming up at 10 on LBC, Paul Brand.
As Rishi Sunak's tax return is published, is there anything filthy about being rich? Do we unfairly demonise prime ministers who've made a mint?
Paul Brand on LBC.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
Hang on. Whether you're a McNuggets connoisseur or a Chicken Selects mega fan, come together with the McDonald's chicken combo for just $16.99. With 20 chicken McNuggets, 10 chicken selects, and 8 dips, there's something for every chicken lover. Available 10th of Jan until 28th of May on delivery options at participating restaurants only. Fees apply from 11 a.m. Price may vary, subject to availability.
Pump 4, please. Is it true there's a chance to win £250 worth of BP Me rewards points every hour?
Yes, every single hour.
Hey again, just a sandwich. Guess who's back?
Oh, midnight feast.
Every hour you get a new chance to win £250 worth of points to splurge on shopping, gift cards and fuel. Scan your BP Me rewards card with every qualifying purchase and you can bring home the win. BP, here for all of life's journeys. Offer ends 26th of February 2024. T's and C's apply. See full conditions at bpmerewards.co.uk.
At Kia, we're switching on the Kia Power On event, featuring the award-winning Kia EV6 with a range of up to 328 miles. Available now with 2.9% APR representative, £1,000 PCP finance deposit contribution, 2 years free servicing, and 1 year Kia Charge Plus when you order by the 29th of February. Search the Kia Power On event. Take the lead. Drive electric. Kia. Movement that inspires. T's and C's apply. Kia Finance. Free servicing offer available until 29th of February. Range based on test conditions and may vary.
How can we make cancer research breakthroughs together? Every day we ideate, build, trial, learn, try again. We use virtual reality to understand tumours, revolutionise cancer diagnosis, and save countless lives. Set up a monthly donation to Cancer Research UK to help us outsmart cancer and keep us researching month in, month out. Visit cruk.org/monthly. Together, we are beating cancer.
Ever since I've been investing with Vanguard,
I find myself going, for me, it's because they've got over 45 years experience. I love that.
I love the low fees, because I can keep more returns.
And I love that the investment platform's been recommended by Which 5 years running.
surely that deserves a...
Join more than 50 million investors around the world who love Vanguard Value. Vanguard, value to investors. When investing, your capital is at risk.
Much like you, I've got a lot to complain about, like open-toe sandals. We thought that was a good idea. Who wants to look at toes? Adults who drink squash. Listen, you're a fully grown person. But I just got the Sky broadband and I've got no complaints.
Once again, Sky had the lowest number of complaints made to Ofcom for fixed-line broadband. To find out more, visit ofcom.org.uk. We're happy because you're happy.
Oh, hang on though. Noisy eaters. They're annoying.
Sky. Believe in better.
Leading Britain's conversation, LBC, with Matthew Wright.
Now, to give credit where credit's due, house building in the UK is back on track, despite some claims from Labour. I mean, heading towards 300,000 new homes being built in a year. I think 300,000 back in the 50s was the highest number of homes that were built in a year, so it's really, really encouraging. Where do those new homes go? Well, a lot of you don't want to see them in Greenbelt, I can understand that, but brownfield is appealing, and Michael Gove, Secretary of State for Levelling Up Housing and Communities, is going to be telling us about a new round of funding to see more homes built on brownfield sites, and joins me now. Good morning to you, sir.
Hi,
hi there. So I know that we've already seen new homes in places like Bognor Regis, Rochdale and Somerset through this brownfield scheme. How does it work?
Well, what we're doing is making sure that we give more money to local authorities and to housing associations, the people who provide new homes for rent. And the money that we're giving, that we're announcing now, should see another 20,000 new homes delivered. But we're also making some changes to the planning system as well to make it easier to convert buildings that are, at the moment, for example, office blocks, into new homes as well. And these planning changes should help to unlock a new generation of high-quality homes. And then on top of that, later this week, I'll be explaining why some local authorities, some in London, some outside, that haven't been delivering the homes that we need will now have to green light planning applications for new homes on brownfield land in order to make sure that we meet the targets that you quite rightly mentioned that we've set ourselves.
Do you have any concerns? I mean, there's a growing number of stories about local authorities going broke, 1 in 5 facing financial insecurity, 4 going broke last year. I mean, maybe local authorities are struggling to deliver because they haven't got any money.
Well, you're absolutely right. There are pressures on local authority budgets. That's why, just last week, we released another £600 million to help local authorities to deal with the inflation pressures that they're facing, like the rest of us. And there are some local authorities, Croydon, Slough, Liverpool, Birmingham, where you've had really grotesque mismanagement, and that's contributed to the challenge. There are other local authorities that are doing a great job, but we want to make sure that local authorities can play their role. And in particular, we've increased the amount of money that local authorities have to deal with planning so that we can unlock more sites for housing.
Okay. Can I talk briefly about leasehold and freehold reform? The bill is going through Parliament. I think it's just reached it's coming to its 3rd reading at the end of this month. I just want listeners to hear what you told Sky News recently.
As someone who, shall we say, has experience of the peculiarities of the leasehold system, I was quite struck by your interview with the Sunday Times where you said you wanted to abolish it.
Yes.
Are you hoping for that to happen before the election?
Yes. We want to introduce legislation in order to change the leasehold system. The fundamental thing is that leasehold is just an unfair form of property ownership. If you buy a flat, that should be yours. You shouldn't be on the hook for charges which are, gouging.
My colleagues have pointed out that England and Wales are the last countries in the developed world where you can buy a home and not own it. So is this still on track?
Yes, it is. And we managed to clear the committee stage in the House of Commons, as you mentioned, Matthew. And the legislation will ensure that people in leasehold properties get their service charges dealt with, their ground rent, I hope, dealt with, and it will squeeze the sharks who've been trying to make money out of leaseholders so that their business model ends, and that people know that when they buy property, it can be theirs for life.
Excellent, excellent. I wonder if you might be able to guide us through what's going on in the Conservative Party, because there seem to be many factions, and I'm struggling to keep tabs on them. You're an evil plotter, I believe. And there's the 5 families, there's the popcons, the neocons, the natcons, and the newcons. Have I got most of the factions covered there? I just want. Are you in any of these other groups?
No, I'm in the cabinet, and that is
a bunch of evil plotters.
No, it's a group of more than 20 Conservatives who have a plan. And the key thing is that the Conservative Party has lots of talent, and there are ideas bubbling up at the moment about what we might want to do in the future. And I like those conversations. But the most important thing is to deliver. And we have a plan. Just this week we discovered that Labour don't. That they had to abandon, I think, the one policy that people associated with them. And it just sort of reinforced the fact that Keir Starmer is the jellyfish of British politics. Transparent, spineless, and swept along by the tide.
I'm going to bring you back to the evil plotters, because those of us that find such terms rather endearing and fun are also deeply troubled that one of your fellow evil plotters, Cameron Badenoch, now finds it difficult to talk to you, apparently, because of the relationship you had. I just wonder whether you're going to be able to kiss or make up anytime soon.
I'm a huge fan of the Secretary of State for Business and Trade, and I think Kemi does a great job. And again, the people are sometimes interested in the soap opera politics. That's fair enough. I've used to be a journalist myself, I understand. However, the most important thing is delivery. And Kemi has secured our membership of the biggest trade bloc in the world. She's delivering for people in Port Talbot by supporting the steel sector. They're delivering for people in Sunderland by supporting...
Is she talking to you, though, Michael? I'm just worried. I just want to know you're all friends still.
We absolutely are.
Wonderful news. Michael Gove, Secretary of State for Levelling Up Housing and Communities. Thank you very much. Let's go straight over to... back on to D in Brent. We're talking about... fathers not being able to see their children, and Dee is on the line for Brenda. So good morning, Dee.
Hi there, thanks for having me on. If I could just say at the outset that, I've got strong opinions about fathers who don't pay and it doesn't matter what the situation is, we've all got to pay. Right? If we brought a life into this world, we have to pay. I just wanted to speak to you. I felt compelled to call because I'm hearing about Scott. And I might be described as what you might call a veteran, with this. So I've got a similar experience. I divorced my ex-wife in 2014. I initiated the divorce, and when I was going through that, she did say to me, our daughter was 5 at the time. She said, "If you leave me, you're never going to see your daughter again." And I kind of thought, how's that possible? Like,
A lot of people in those circumstances say things that, in the heat of the moment that don't come true, but...
Exactly. But then followed 7 years of court proceedings and legal battles where I had to repeatedly go to court just to see my own child. Court orders were given, they were broken, and then
just for callers, listeners that may have just joined us, so we spoke to a gentleman, Scott, who had won a number of court orders for access to his child that his ex-partner had subsequently broken. And I have to say, in the message boards, that is coming up a lot, and you've had the same experience.
Yeah, except it got worse. So in January 2022, I was awarded joint custody, finally. And then I never saw my daughter again.
How's that work?
So the judge said, yep, according to the daughter's wishes, she wishes to spend equal time with both parents. Court orders have repeatedly been broken. Joint custody, so she spends equal time between both parents. And then mother basically just said, no, I'm not having it. So daughter stopped calling me. I was, in effect, alienated. And then the allegations started. So I received a letter, a court order, accusing me of marital rape, financial abuse, psychological abuse, physical abuse, stalking, harassment, you name it. I mean, when I read it, I thought,
what happened? Because I'm up against the clock here a little, and there's a lot to get through. So very briefly, what happened?
So eventually, and there was also one attempt where actually I had police knock on my door. They arrested me, took me to the station, locked me up overnight, and then released me the next day with an apology, saying, "Oh, sorry," So I've been through all of that. Eventually, I've just given up. I said, look, there's nothing I can do. So the last court hearing was about 3 months ago. I turned up to court. I said, I'm not going to do any more court proceedings. I'm not going to invest any more money in the legal system. And as we walked out, she kind of just, this was in person. And I said, we were both there. I said, are you going to let her see me now? And she said, well, no, because if she stays with you, then that's going to affect the child support payments that I receive.
Thought we were going to end there on this sort of joyous moment when, despite gift